All right, week 15, the NFL. Again, I don't care who wins these games. Big fantasy money on the line this week, as I'm sure it is for you, all y'all. So, you know, that's what we're focused on. But let's see if we can just try to guess who wins some of these games. You get started tonight. The Chargers are in Vegas. Let's just have a pinball game here, guys. I know, Raiders got some defensive guys out. The Chargers are hungry to put up some points. Everybody's got somebody in this game for fantasy. So let's do everybody a favor. Let's start the week off right. Let's get a nice, 38-35, 35-31, something along those lines. And let's get people the points they need to start the weekend. Unless you're playing me, then I don't want you guys to do anything. As far as the game, the Raiders will win the game probably because, again, the Chargers find ways to lose, although they did find a way to beat Atlanta last week, but that's Atlanta. And I'll take the Raiders. Sunday early afternoon. Actually, no, wait. We got a couple Saturday games. I forgot about that. Saturday we got two games. We get Buffalo and Denver Saturday afternoon. The Bills, boy, I tell you, the Bills look good. I don't want to go as far as to say that maybe they're the second best team in the AFC, but I mean they might be. They just might be. I know Kansas City handled them pretty well earlier in the year, but just all I'm saying is watch out for the Bills. When they get in the playoffs, because they can score and their defense is serviceable. Denver, again, listen, you never know if it's going to be a Denver game where Denver actually moves the ball on offense or not, but I'll take Buffalo in this one because they're headed for the playoffs and they're looking good. And then Saturday night you get Carolina, Green Bay. Everyone is still wondering about McCaffrey. He should have just cut ties a long time ago. Because he's not going to play. There's no reason for him to play the rest of the year. It's too late now anyway. If you didn't grab Mike Davis, I don't know what to tell you. But it's basically been 12 weeks of Christmas. If you were able to grab him. I grabbed him in basically every league I owned. But anyway, Green Bay's going to win the game. Carolina can make it interesting, but again, as long as Mikey gets his points and Robbie Anderson and DJ Moore might play. Those are the guys you're looking for as far as fantasy, but Green Bay will win the game. Early Sunday afternoon, you got Tampa at Atlanta. Again, you'd like to get a pinball game here, but, when Julio is out, I don't know, Atlanta struggles to score points. Ridley's 50-50 as far as, if he's going to be able to put up fantasy points, because it actually helps when Julio's on the field, but if Julio doesn't play, Ridley's the only play here, fantasy-wise, if you got him. But Tampa's going to win the game. Tampa can obviously score points. Atlanta's got nothing to play for. Blah, blah, blah. Tampa wins. 49ers and Cowboys. Two teams going nowhere, which I don't know. I don't know if you have ever said that about any 49ers Cowboys game ever where both teams were complete. I don't know that game's ever been played. I don't know that there's ever been a 49ers Cowboys game where both teams are out of it. I don't think that game's ever occurred. Because, the Cowboys were good, and the 49ers were good, and then they both were good, and the 49ers were kind of good, and then the Cowboys were kind of good, and then the 49ers were good. So, it's just... They've never not both been bad. This is going to be a weird looking game. This was supposed to be the Sunday night game originally, and then they got flexed out of it, and then one of the local TV stations here, radio stations, talking about Jerry Jones. Like, well, how does it feel to get flexed out of the Sunday night game? And first of all, who even cares? And he's like, well, we've had some big ratings, and Sunday after, stop trying to spin it. All right, the team's garbage. They got flexed out for Browns Giants, no less. So, that just gives you an idea of how bad it's gotten with the Cowboys and 49ers. But in any event, I'll take Cowboys to win because who cares? Detroit is at Tennessee. Stafford probably not going to play. Tennessee's going to win anyway. So what are we bothering with here? Derrick Henry will probably run wild. They'll get into the red zone, and then Tannehill will throw a touchdown pass. That's what they do. And then maybe Derrick Henry. All of Derrick Henry's touchdowns are like from 40 yards out. He very rarely actually scores inside the goal line. All of his touchdowns are like 40, 50-yard runs. And once in a while, he'll throw a 91 in there. Tennessee's going to win again. Houston's at Indianapolis. Colts need the game. They played 2 weeks ago. I don't remember who won. I feel like... Did Houston win that game? I don't even remember. No, I think the Colts won. I don't even remember. But all I know is Indianapolis is going to win this game because they got to stay ahead, or we're stay along with Tennessee in the AFC South. So the Colts will win the game, but Houston will put up some points. They'll make it interesting. They'll give you some fantasy points. You got that, man. New England's at Miami. New England, I don't know. I mean, they're coming off a terrible loss the last Thursday night against the Rams. Miami, they're good this year, and they've always given New England trouble anyway, even when they weren't good. New England was great. I'm not going in depth on any of this. Like, there's really no reason to at this point. I'll take Miami to win the game. It's going to be a struggle, but I just think that you can't trust Cam Newton in these spots anymore. The Patriots having a hard time scoring points, and Miami will be fired up. And this will bury the Patriots for good this year. So I'll take Miami. Chicago's in Minnesota. The Bears are keeping their fans interested. Trubisky's actually played pretty well, all things considered. The Vikings, again, these are 2 6-7 teams, I think. And, the winner is going to maybe have hope for the playoffs. The loser is going to be basically out. I know Minnesota beat Chicago earlier in the year, but Kirk Cousins just struggles against the Bears. I know the Bears' defense is not 100%, but this game's a toss. I'll take Minnesota. Just because I got Jefferson and Thielen in a bunch of spots, so I need them, and Dalvin Cook, so I need them to do stuff. So I'll take Minnesota. Seattle's at Washington. Washington, it's all there for them to win a division now. This will be a tough game though. But Seattle plays down to their competition sometimes. You saw that a couple weeks ago when they let the Giants beat them. Now again, they stomped all over the Jets last week, so they got right there. But don't be surprised if Washington gives them a ball game here. I think ultimately Seattle wins the game, but Washington, they're going to be tough. Washington. Listen, they're not going to the Super Bowl, but they're going to be a tough out in the playoffs because they play good defense. They don't make a lot of mistakes. Now, I don't know if Gibson's back this week or not. I haven't looked at his injury report, but they got serviceable backs to keep the offense moving, but. Just keep your eye on Washington. Don't be surprised they score a first-round playoff upset if they get there. But I think Seattle squeaks by them this week. Jacksonville's in Baltimore. Man, what a game. Ravens and Cleveland the other night. That's just... back and forth. And everyone had some sort of fantasy implication. And, my condolences to anybody who got screwed on that safety at the end. But listen, this is why you got to watch the games. You can't just, and even I had a league where I was going against Chubb in the playoffs, and I'm watching Chubb. I was up 27 points, I think, and then Chubb had gotten to like 24, and I'm sitting here with Baltimore going, hey, let's run down the clock, kick a field goal, win the game. And even when they lined up for that field goal, I'm like, there's going to be 1 or 2 seconds left. And, you know, Cleveland, if they do a touchback, which you're going to get with Tucker, you know, Cleveland's going to have that one last play. And if Chubb catches a ball, runs for 20 yards, I lose. Now, the one thing I wasn't too nervous about was the fact that I figured Kareem Hunt would be in. But the point I'm trying to make is that it's not over until the game's over. Especially that last, when you got that last play, and you know the team's got to do a lateral because they're too far for a Hail Mary. You know, anything can happen. You know, your guy could catch the ball. That guy could fumble and he loses 2 points. You know, the defense can knock you back 25 yards and then they pick up another point. Or, you know, they score a good number of times in that situation. You know, with a fumble, and that's +8. Now, Ravens got +2, but you know that's enough to swing it. So you got to watch fantasy. You got to watch the games to the end. You got to understand what's happening. You can't be, I turned the game off and I can't believe what happened. No, you got to understand what's going on in these football games. But anyway, Baltimore beat Jacksonville. Who cares? Late afternoon Sunday, you got the Jets are at the Rams. The Jets are headed for 0-16. They are a disaster. Rams will probably shut them out. Maybe teams always somehow manage a field goal in games like this. But I mean, there's no question who's winning this game. The Rams are going to win the game. Phillies at Arizona. Kyler Murray looks like he's better now, and he struggled there for a couple of weeks, at least from what we've been used to out of him fantasy-wise. That shoulder might have been bothering him, but it looks like he's getting back to 100%. Now, Philly's defense will be tough, so I don't know that we get a 30-point game out of Murray this week, but you know, he's trending back in the right direction if you got fantasy playoffs. You know, again, Philly, you know, they got a nice win against New Orleans, keep themselves, you know, on life support. I think Arizona beats them, though, this week. I just think that, you know, Arizona's offense is, you know, they got bigger weapons. You know, I know New Orleans, you know, they got off to a bad start there, and they've been struggling a little bit with Breeze out. Although, you know, Hill's done a good job, but, you know, they're not the same offensive juggernaut necessarily with Taysom Hill, but any event, I think Arizona beats Philly because, again, who cares? Kansas City's at New Orleans. Super Bowl preview, maybe? Possibly. If the Saints get their act together in the playoffs. You know, this will be, you know, again, this is a pinball game with meaning. And hopefully, again, you get a nice high-scoring game. Everybody's got somebody fantasy-wise that they have interest in here. I'll take the Chiefs to win, but you know they're you know, New Orleans will make this a ball game because their defense could slow down Kansas City a little bit. You know, so you know this would be. I mean, this is the national game Sunday afternoon. Everyone's gonna have this game, so you know obviously it's a big ball game for the league. But I'll take Kansas City to win, but that'll be a fun game. Sunday night, Cleveland at the Giants. The Cleveland Browns and the New York Giants are playing on Sunday Night Football, which, you know, I mean, obviously this is two of the more established franchises, but, you know, Cleveland's for real this year. You know, they had a tough loss the other night, but, you know, Lamar Jackson was Superman. What are you going to do? And listen, the Giants' defense is tough. So the Browns will have their hands full. But I just think there's too much offense here. Baker Mayfield is playing well. So I think Cleveland wins the game, but you know, this is your primetime game, Cleveland and the Giants. So there you go. And then Monday, Pittsburgh and Cincinnati. You know, I mean, listen, Pittsburgh's lost the last two games. They stumbled against Washington. They lost a tough game in Buffalo. Their guys just got to stop dropping the ball. I mean, too many guys dropping the ball. I mean, it's mostly Deontay Johnson and Ebron, but if the guys catch the ball, Pittsburgh will win. I mean, Pittsburgh's going to win this game anyway. They're playing the Bengals. But, Steelers got to get right before the playoffs. They can't have these guys, coming in here with Butterfingers every week. They got to hold on to the ball. And for some reason, the running game is non-existent now. James Conner's killing people in fantasy, which is fine with me because I don't own him. But Pittsburgh's got a couple of weeks here to straighten it out for the playoffs. I mean, they probably blew the number one bye now, but number one seed to bye. But they got to get right if they want to make a run in the playoffs. So, all right, there you go. We'll see you Sunday for the Cowboy game, and again, we're going to be paying attention to fantasy because there's big money on the line this week and next. So there you go. Week 15 NFL.